you doing today? Today we're doing a very chilled stream. Shouldn't be too long of a stream. We're just gonna do some late night research. I was thinking I should do some work, and then I was like, what's better than work? Oh yes, working with friends. I'm doing this stream on my Made by Human channel because I think my gaming channel is a little bit of a younger audience at this point. But we're also live on Twitch. Let's see what's happening. So we are going to hop right into it. I'm just looking at some of the most recent science developments that come up. I've been meaning to look them up for a while now, so I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive until my lovely partner comes home. Also, let me know if the music's too loud. Hey, what's up, Panda? Make sure I'm up on YouTube. Yes, we are. We are live on YouTube. Alright, so the first thing, today is a Sunday? I think it is. I don't have any concept of time anymore, you see. I work with calendar days, not not with the days of the week. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Okay, I'm now on YouTube. Oh, I see my doggy is in the background. Hi Avengers, Cheetah, the only name. Oh, we have some peeps here. Sia, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Oh, she's already asleep. There's a lag. Okay, I'm gonna pop out the chats so I can see everybody on YouTube as well as on Twitch. See, I'll put YouTube up there. I'll put Twitch up here. Beautiful. I have Sunwishy in the chat. Hey Diva, what's up? I have Adala Beastie. I have a Denzel. I have citrus foliage. No stealing Labubus today. No, you see, after stealing Labubus, I think we have to hop back into some science. After so much brain rot, one should potentially build back the brain. Okay, now my dog's barking. Is Jimmy home? That'd be awkward. Since we just started. Okay, let's hop right into it, huh? Okay. So the first thing I'm thinking of looking at today, it captured my attention, is this company called Colossal. I don't know if you guys have heard of Colossal, but it's sort of a company where they're trying to bring back extinct animals. Here we go. Yeah, it's pretty damn interesting. What are your thoughts on it? Yeah, the wolf one. There you go. Hey, JTW. And Chandra. Yeah, so here you can see it's Colossal. Hey, Ansi, Sunwishy. You've heard of it? Yeah, right? It sounds extremely interesting. So you should be able to see my screen here. So I've been following them for more than a year now. Okay, what seemed to make the news was the wolves. Because they're bringing back dire wolves, which are like the wolves from Game of Thrones. But before that, I already saw that they were trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. And in order to do that, they split the genetics. They did gene splicing, and they were able to produce mice Wait, let me see if I can look it up. Mice with woolly mammoth hair. And it was the craziest thing, and nobody has said a word about it. Mammoth mice. Like, it almost feels unreal what's happening. Yeah, here it is. Wait, let me show you. So you've got the woolly mouse. Dude, what is that? Isn't that crazy? So they were able to take, and that's what I know, we're gonna look into it, the genes of a woolly mammoth and splice it with a mouse, and they have created a woolly mammoth mouse that has the hair of a woolly mammoth. Isn't that crazy? Ooh, we've got some videos here.
Finally tonight.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
Good news for scientists and fans of animals we've only known in history books. Morgan Chesky with the tale of the woolly mice.
They're small. Some would say even cute.
So this is Chip on the left and that's Dale on the right.
Wait, what? So that's Chip on the left.
Dale on the right.
No, wait, I need to see this again.
So this is Chip on the left and that's Dale on the
Chip and Dale.
right.
Two woolly mice made famous, born on the cutting edge of science.
These are the most precision edited animals on the planet.
The most precision edited animals on the planet. I would want to know, what are the standard for normal edited animals on the planet? And what makes this the most precision edited? I believe them. I'm just curious how much we were actually editing animals up until now. They made long hair mice with mammoth DNA. Yeah. I fear they're going to unleash something not meant for the earth. I mean, it's, I don't, you know, like, what's happening? Like, what's gonna happen? It looks really cool, but Jurassic Park has certainly set up some interesting standards. Hey, if they made a Jurassic Park, I would go. That's all I'm saying. The same ones who are reverse evolution chickening. Yeah, I think so. How do we know it's mammoth? Well, we'll find out. Copyright, you'll get copyright strike. We are literally just commentating on the 2-minute video. We are good. And it's okay. I don't mind. I'm not here to make money on this video. I'm just hanging out.
We're not happy about it. We're thrilled about it.
The DNA breakthrough by Colossal Biosciences, all part of CEO Ben Lamb's plan to
CEO Ben Lamb. CEO Ben Lamb. Let's see. Ben Lamb. American entrepreneur. Ben Lamb. Ben Lamb is an American billionaire entrepreneur. He's best known for partnering with George Church on the idea for de-extinction and founding a venture capital-backed startup known as Colossal to support Church's work in the development of genetic engineering and reproductive technology. That's pretty dope. That is pretty dope. Okay. Okay, Ben Lamb. I see you.
resurrect the woolly mammoth.
Oh, there it is. The woolly mammoth. So this is like the Ice Age woolly mammoth. You know what I'm saying, guys? This is what you would have seen in the movie Ice Age, that is. Let's see here. Let me get my chat back up. There we are. Hi, Exploring Mountains. How do we know it's mammoth wool? I don't know. Let's find out. Hey, little Bill.
Mammoth and other extinct species.
They want to bring back the dodo bird
and return balance.
What was that? Okay, why do I sound silly? This reminds me of like the Tasmanian daredevil or whatever it's called.
And return balance to ailing ecosystems.
We actually took the genes that made a mammoth, mapped them to mice, and in only 1 month, we produced living, healthy little mice.
So
they took the mammoth genes and mapped them to mice. What does this mean? That sounds incredibly interesting. Wait, let me quickly... I actually want to write some of this down. Okay, so we've got mammoth mice. Let me see. Okay. We're gonna do mammoth mice. So they took the genes of a mammoth. So where did they find it? Where did they find it? And they mapped it to a mice. So how does this even work? That's hardcore. We're living in the future.
We're here to tell people before woolly mammoths come mice.
Before woolly mammoths, we get woolly mice. This is a
Woolly
validation
mice.
step on our way to the mammoth.
Colossal altering 7 mammoth genes, such as hair thickness,
Oh, there we go. We're getting some answers. We are getting some answers. Okay, so they took the genes of a mammoth, mapped it to mice. Now, my question is, are they altering different genetics one by one? Why not just clone it outright? Before the woolly mammoths. What do you guys think about this? Are we going too far, or are we not going far enough? Okay, let's see. CRISP gene editing tech. Oh yeah, CRISPR is pretty cool. CRISPR is gonna change a lot of things in the next decade. But why mammoth? It's like the worst animal to bring back. It's a good question. Like, why bring back the mammoth specifically? I mean, it would look pretty dope. And why did they go extinct in the first place is what I'd ask. Yeah, the Taz one. If they mix animals, they could mix humans. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. If they're able to mix animal DNA, they're very capable of doing it with humans. The question is if it's legal. It's probably not, but if they can do it, can other countries do it? Because other countries don't have the same legislation. Last thing I saw was that they didn't mix, they just altered some genes to imitate it. What are we gonna do with mammoths walking around in Nebraska? I don't know. They're doing time pass. 1 second. Okay.
color, and ability to store fat, key for cold environments before applying them to Chippendale.
I never
Chippendale.
thought that mice could captivate and inspire the way these two guys have.
Colossal's Chief Animal Officer Matt James says pictures are pouring in from all over the country. Students inspired by science, he says, could save endangered species and usher a new era of conservation. Endangered from all over the
Wait.
country. Students inspired by science, he says, could save endangered.
What is this? What is this? Don't bring this back, please. What in the world is this abomination? I'm kidding. This kid probably draws a better woolly mammoth than I can even hope to.
Species.
What is that? It looks like a spider. It's triggering my spider senses. Dear gosh. What do you do when this woolly mammoth walks up to you at night and asks you for a snack? Do you let it into your house?
And usher a new era of
Oh, a baby woolly mammoth would be so cute.
conservation.
To the skeptics who say Colossal's playing God,
Colossal's playing God? Okay, what are they gonna say?
what do you say?
I would argue that we have a real issue as humanity of playing God every day with nature.
Oh? We already play God?
I think what we're doing is trying to reverse the course, try to repair the sins that humanity's already committed.
Whoa, okay. Interesting. So they're implying that we're responsible for causing their extinction and then we're undoing it. I wonder how the woolly mammoth went extinct. I think I saw a quote once that we live, what was it? That Cleopatra? No, that we live, it was something along the lines of Cleopatra lived closer to like the woolly mammoth than she did to the pyramids or something like that. I could be completely wrong about this, but I think it wasn't that long ago where we had these types of animals. Because we're not talking about reptilian dinosaurs, we're talking about woolly mammoths, which are mammals. Mammoths were hunted to extinction. Okay, let's see.
Colossal says its first woolly mammoth is on track for 2028.
2028? That's in like 2 to 3 years. The first woolly mammoth will be here before my first child.
These two more than happy to soak up the spotlight. Till then, Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Dallas.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on.
Okay, so I have a question. What happens if one of these mice bite me? Do I turn into a woolly mammoth? Or do I turn into a woolly mammoth mouse? Dude, what is my suggestion showing me? The fat problem. AI photos. Choplin. Jimmy. Chopin. I meant to say Chopin. Okay, guys. Not Choplin, I swear. I've been meaning to look at this AI-induced psychosis one. When will you act in another Torek vid with us? Another Torek vid? Hey, if Torek needs acting. I'm just always on the road. I'm rarely home. I stream almost every day. I'm home now. So when I'm not streaming, I'm normally traveling. But I love it. I'm loving it so much. I spent the entirety of today on set actually, with a contestant in one of those videos where they're kind of trapped somewhere. It's amazing. They can't walk away. I just have a forever friend to talk to. It's like so much fun. Will we get woolly mammoths before we get GTA 6? Will we get woolly mammoths before we get the new Witcher game? I bet we will. I bet at least 1,000 Roblox, no, Robux, that we will in fact get a woolly mammoth walking this planet before we get another Witcher game. That seems awfully fast. I wonder if they're editing elephant DNA to have it have traits like a woolly mammoth. That's what I'm curious about. Why are we not capable yet of cloning with DNA we find? Or are we only able to currently change DNA, which is kind of a more recent technological advancement we've developed? Another one of those vids. Yep. Let's see here. Come back to Lurkana, lol. Hey, if they allow online clients, I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Hey, card game manufacturers, if you don't have an online client, people are gonna struggle playing your game. So I just can't keep up buying all the cards. We'll get a woolly mammoth. 2028 seems really ambitious. I guess it depends how far they are in the process and how much they've told us. Hey Andrews, you become a man moth? Dear gosh. Bringing back certain animals is going to break all the new food chains that have settled into the planet since extinction. This is also something I'm thinking of. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that story where essentially they released some wolves into a wilderness area, and the wolves essentially changed the literal landscape of the area. Even the rivers started flowing differently because they released wolves. So this was actually really helpful. So they had an overactive deer population. The wolves started hunting the deer down to a normal size population. Because of hunting the deer, it had such a chain of events that eventually certain animals started to migrate into certain areas. I don't know if it was the beavers who started altering the rivers or whatever, but it quite literally changed the landscape. It was like amazing. Now, could this potentially have an effect like that? Maybe. I'm also curious what happens if we bring something back and it has the opposite. Like, what if it is uncontrolled? I'm sure there must be legal ramifications to these things. I'm sure a government wouldn't allow people, like, isn't that like a biohazard at that point? And also, if you take the genetics of an animal and you introduce it into our ecosystem, it doesn't carry the viruses or bacteria that comes with that time period. Surely it's not like we're like I don't think that's how it works, right? I don't think it introduces new things into the environment, but I could be wrong. This is not my field of expertise. Like, unless you like unfroze it and you released it into the wild, but if you're just altering DNA, the worst that can happen is you're probably releasing a species. And are they releasing a species into the wild? What is happening? They can't clone it because they need a womb of a woolly mammoth. I don't think you do. When it comes to cloning with Dolly the sheep, you do need an egg. I would say probably of that species, and you would need to take I believe, the nucleus out of the egg. And then you would need to put the new DNA inside of the egg and put it in a female animal, and that animal has to give birth to it. But I think if you can find animals that are similar enough, they could potentially give birth to such a thing. Again, I could be completely wrong here, but wouldn't they potentially be able to do that with something like an elephant? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, scientists. I'd love to hear your opinion on this matter. I've just started to scrape the research in this field, so I'm not the expert. What am I researching? Uh, well, I do neuroscience, but I'm not researching that. I'm just researching cloning and this company called Colossal, just out of pure curiosity. I'm just deciding to do this on stream tonight because I would have done it in bed anyway. So, first, we are thinking about bringing back woolly mammoths. Imagine a woolly mammoth in Nebraska. Wolf emoji. Big food chain changes. Yeah. But see, what they're arguing is that we already had big changes, but for the worse, and that they want to bring it back. I guess it's just scary because we might not be certain of what the future will look like, but we are certain of what it looks like right now. And right now it's stable-ish. So introducing something new could be scary. I would love to hear what they have to say. They just need an island and a theme park. Nothing could go wrong. Nothing at all. I agree. The birds and the bees and the eggs you can freeze. They want to alter an Asian elephant. There you go. That's good. That's good feedback, Lancy. If that's true, then yeah, that's what my understanding is. Like, I believe if you wanted to clone a dog, you wouldn't necessarily have to use the exact same species of dog. You would just have to pick a dog because they would be able to birth another type of dog. Maybe that's what they did with the wolves. Let's see. Let's see what they did. I'm going to go back to showing my screen. I want to take a look at the comment section real quick. And also, I should put my camera on the other side. I merely have it here because I'm looking in that direction and it just makes sense. But okay, we'll turn our head this way. Firm believer that we shouldn't bring back species we as humans wiped out. There's a huge list in just a couple hundred years alone. Really excited for this work and to see many animals brought back. Oh, he says we should bring back species that humans wiped out. Okay, so that's an interesting perspective. So what about species we didn't wipe out? Okay. Let's see what the replies are. I'm against bringing back ancient dinosaurs because it's simply not their era anymore. Dodo and mammoth are all because of human intervention. We have a duty to bring them back. This is like if scientists edited the genes for human brow ridges to protrude more and then claiming they've brought back Neanderthals. Yeah, it's fascinating, but this doesn't actually bring back the extinct species. Whatever's being done simply isn't what's being advertised. That's an interesting claim. I'd like to see what is actually happening. I love how they keep talking about these two and several shots show a third mouse. I can, assuming didn't make it? No. They made 30 plus mice, all of them survived. Way I see the accusations of playing God. If you believe in God, you believe he made the universe. If he did not wish for gene editing to be possible, it would not be. Furthermore, humans have selectively bred species for millennia. This is just a streamlined version of that. Of course, I do agree gene editing should be approached in an ethical and responsible way. Fair, not religious either, but just coming from the argument that the divine had creation over the natural world. Now what we could do in relation to it. I doubt any higher power wanted us to harness nuclear power. I doubt any higher power wanted us to harness nuclear power. I disagree with that. I think in hundreds of years from now, nuclear power will seem minuscule in comparison to what we're going to develop. I feel like if a higher power exists and they didn't want us to go this far, then they should stop at the point of AI. Like I think we're gonna exponentially evolve going further in terms of technology, and I think humans are very much equipped to go very far. I wouldn't say it's against our nature to do that. Okay, cool. That was a cool video. Let's see what else we're looking at here. Where were we? What are we researching? We're researching Colossal, who is bringing back extinct animals. Bringing back long dead extinct species is such a science ego thing. It's curious. Because what stops us from bringing back extinct humans? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're human sapiens now. What stops us from literally creating zoos with extinct humans, like Neanderthals? It's an interesting line. Recent ones make sense, but why not we focus on endangered ones or recent extinctions in the past 50 years? Hey Lou, what's up? Yeah, you got a stream. Let's go. Okay, well, let's take a look at what's happening, right? So we've got de-extinction. Fight to preserve and restore Earth's diminishing biodiversity is not a problem exclusive to the past. It's a modern problem. And without intervention, it will pervade our future too. Consider the IUCN Red List of 42,000 and something species across the world. Many are in danger of eradication. 902 are already extinct. 9,250 are critically endangered. The website is pretty cool. Okay. Definition of de-extinction, a new one. The process of generating an organism that... Oh, sorry, Doki. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing that. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Whoa! We've got a direwolf right here, guys. We brought it back just 10 months ago. We brought back a direwolf, and we have him right here today. In the studio, guys. Whoa! Look at this direwolf. Look at this. Look at the tail on this thing. You could probably rip off a full-grown bear's arm with its jaw alone. Look at that arch. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at the legs. The protruding jawline of this magical beast. Okay, it's also a big baby and it wants attention. So the process of generating an organism that both resembles and is genetically similar to an extinct species. By resurrecting its lost lineage of core genes, engineering natural resistances, and enhancing adaptability that will allow it to thrive in today's environment of climate change, dwindling resources, disease, and human interference. So they're not necessarily making it the exact same. They're saying they are resembling and it's genetically similar. Okay, so yeah, that's a big difference. They also say they are enhancing its adaptability to thrive today. Gonna be very interesting to see what that resembles. Hey Emily, how are you doing? I decided I want to look into Colossal because what a cool company. Am I right, Emily? So interesting. I decided I will turn on the stream because I want to discuss it with my friends. Rebuilding extinct species today. Okay, what do you guys think about that? You love the setup goals? Oh, thank you very much. This is my favorite setup thus far. And I have quite a few. I have moved to many places over the years. Dang. I think the doggy is very needy today because we adopted a new cat. And now the cat's the baby. And the cat gets treated with a lot of special care. And now our other baby is feeling very left out. Ew. Should we stop getting new babies? Should I get a human baby one day? So you can have more cuddles? I should reinvest into the ecosystem or else we cannot sustain the growth of this many animals. I agree. One day. Rebuilding extinct species for existence today. At Colossal, de-extinction is more than merely making an organism that resembles. We're going further. Okay, when you go back down. You good? Are you good? Good girl. Good girl. Colossal's approach is entirely novel and not one of copying or cloning. Although relevant, it is currently impossible to perform full genome synthesis of a clone or extinct animal. Ah, it's impossible currently? Extinct animals. There you go. Cloning's not impossible, but when it comes to extinct animals, it is. Gotcha. Good night, Panda. Have a good sleep. Okay. Whoa, this is cool. Look at this. Okay, so this is all possible from the combination of de-extincting core genes that made a species unique and enhancing the species by genetically engineering adaptability and resilience to threats. So here they're showing the woolly mammoth. Fur length, tusk length, domed cranium, smaller ears, shaggy coat. So they're basically attempting to engineer an animal almost from scratch, but from scratch using modern animals. I'm curious what the purpose of that is. I'm simply curious. You know, because maybe we will eventually invent a way to clone extinct species and then all of this is almost in vain. Or we've simply reached a point where we can quite literally play God and just create anything. But it's like we're specifically trying to create species that already existed. Like if we're able to just alter genetics, because what they did with the woolly mice is they just got the mice to get longer hair. Like if we can do that, we can just start creating any animal. You know what I'm saying? Why make it a specific animal? If it's done in humans, do we have Chewbacca? That is an excellent question, Ansi Lurt. Can we alter humans? Good night, Maluv. Thank you. Humans thought always want to mess up with nature. We do like dominating nature. Let's take a look at the Mammoth page. The Mammoth. Made prehistory thunder forward. We have the DNA, the technology, and the leading experts in the field. Next, we will have the woolly mammoth alive again. I feel like this mammoth is giving me the side eye. I don't know about you guys. It's like kind of staring at me very ominously. It's like, just wait until I'm back. I'm gonna exact revenge. The woolly mammoth is a vital defender of the earth. Okay. Colossal's landmark de-extinction project will be the resurrection of the woolly mammoth. Okay, so that's its landmark project, so it's a pretty big one. Or more specifically, a cold-resistant elephant with all of the core biological traits of the woolly mammoth. There you go, there's the fine print. It will walk like a woolly mammoth, look like one, sound like one, but most importantly will be able to inhabit the same ecosystem previously abandoned by the mammoth's extinction. Interesting. Which environment is that? And what will happen if we bring it back? Like, how long ago was this, did this animal become extinct and abandon its ecosystem? You know what I'm saying? Like, has the ecosystem adjusted accordingly, or is the ecosystem, like, struggling a lot? I'm scared. Which ecosystem? We dropping them in Russia? Let's see. I'm sure they have a reason. I didn't think scientists just go about doing these things. Mammoth de-extinction. Okay, now I need to put my face on the other side again so you can see. Also, my chest is so red, but then I'm like, why is that? And then I literally have a dog climb on me and scratch me. And then I have a new cat, and the cat's lying on top of me and scratching me. And I'm allergic to animals. So when they do that, it like... I've already taken 2 allergy pills today as well. It's okay. I love them, and therefore I suffer. It is an appropriate metaphor for motherly love. Let's see. The doggy over here is called Theo. Okay. Ending extinction to advance the genetic future of humankind. This music is too upbeat. Yeah, it's better. I feel like it needs to be more ominous. Is the music okay, guys? Or is it too loud? Five core goals for reviving the mammoth. Music's good? Okay, that makes me happy. Okay, so the 5 goals are to increase the resilience of habitats to climate change, develop new tools and techniques that will contribute to global effort to save modern elephants from extinction. Oh, so we're making modern elephants stronger? Understand the genetic basis traits of cold adaptation in animals, drive advancements in multiplex genome editing, and demonstrate that it's possible to bring back an extinct megafauna species. Mammothus primigenius. It's pretty hardcore. It's pretty hardcore. I'm always curious who comes up with these names. Like, some scientists thought about this and they were like, yep, that's what I'm doing. The woolly mammoth is a cold-resistant herbivore mammal, meaning it's warm-blooded that can survive in freezing temperatures. It was large and slow-moving with short, compact ears to prevent heat loss, insulated by 2 layers of thick fur to keep the blood warm, along by staying rather active and consistent with its migration and foraging activities. Alright. Okay, so it's basically describing the woolly mammoth in comparison with the Asian elephant as well as the African elephant. Okay, but are these elephants going extinct because of how cold they are? Or are we just like hunting them to death? Reviving mammoths, saving elephants. Okay, so the goal is to save elephants. Is the goal to make elephants stronger by editing them genetically? It's no secret that elephant populations around the globe are in danger. African forest elephant, critically endangered. African savanna elephant, endangered. Asian elephant, endangered. Okay, but why are they endangered? Our research into resurrecting the woolly mammoth will help save them. Their preservation is vital because elephants are considered a keystone species. Our process, de-extinction of the woolly mammoth. Find well-preserved woolly mammoth samples. Step 1. Find well-preserved samples of woolly mammoths in Alaska and Siberia. Whole mammoths remains have been found that look like they were alive on Earth recently, even though they are thousands of years old. Well, there we go. 2. Sequence the woolly mammoth genome. Sequence many woolly mammoths to be sure the DNA information we get is correct and consistent. Use these multiple sequences to get a full genome with a few gaps, as sequencing ancient DNA and assemblies allow. 3. Sequence the Asian elephant genome. Sequence many Asian elephant samples to get information from a population of the closest living relative to the woolly mammoth. Sequence and assemble the reference genome of the Asian elephant, which is available to the public. Identify important cold weather genes. Identify these genes to make the woolly mammoth perfectly adapted to cold temperatures, such as shaggy hair, curved tusks, fat deposits, dome-shaped cranium, hemoglobin, and much more. Derive cells and prepare multiplex edit designs. Work with conservationists to sample elephant tissues and derive healthy growing elephant cells. Use gene editing tools that work like scissors to cut elephant DNA and provide a mammoth sequence to incorporate into elephant cells in the same location. Insert gene edits and create cell line. Edit all relevant genes, 65 of them, to make a cold adapted elephant cell line. Verify the edits using sequencing technologies. Test the gene edits. Use stem cell technology to test the traits in cells using sequencing and functional assays. Use animal models to test traits such as long hair. Okay, so stem cell technology is actually a big reason for a lot of this, I think. Stem cell technology is doing quite a bit of work these days. I feel like I would be more on board with them just like cloning more elephants rather than going after the mammoth. Yeah, that's an interesting point, Sunwishy. There are liquid blood from Siberia. Not really related, but I've been wanting to start writing a book for a while now, since I want to see if it's a good creative outlet for me. What is the biggest thing you learned writing your book? Honestly, the biggest thing I learned writing a book is how long it takes and how long it takes to get feedback. And it took me like 7 years just to put out a first draft, which I'm still unhappy with. I'd say it depends what your goal is. Feedback to me is crucial, and one of the coolest things about technology is that I'm now able to write stories and implement them into videos and post those videos, and within a day I get thousands of comments and feedback immediately telling me what people think, and I can grow so much quicker. And I would much rather have been born in the era where I could have started off doing that, and then maybe if I wanted to I could have ended up doing a book, or better, make the book a film. It really is about resources at the end of the day. Also, the thing about writing a book is you have to be really good at actually writing prose, grammar, pacing when it comes to word length. It's an entirely different skill that doesn't necessarily translate to the creative process when it comes to making a video. So it's completely dependent on what your goal is. If your goal is to write a story, you could do that and make a video of it. If your goal is to write a book, then go for it. It's a very meditative like process. It gets you into like deep concentration, and definitely if you're able to do that in today's day and age, it's very impressive. It takes a very long time to do. My biggest hurdle is actually just writing as an art. You have to be in love with writing words on paper, not stories. No. It used to be like that because we didn't have another option. But if you're curious in how to put story into motion, the easiest way to do that right now is with video. Because seeing a story on screen is not the same as describing it in a book. You cannot translate the Hunger Games word for word by watching the movie and writing down what you see in the book. It is completely different. So yeah, I would suggest you should be obsessed with the process of writing words on paper that sound nice and that look nice. If not, you will not like it. Does that make sense? It's the difference between somebody using AI to create the picture that they wanted to utilize versus an artist who wants to spend weeks drawing the art themselves because it's about the process and that's what they like doing, not the end result. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to this. Test the gene edits, nuclear transfer and fertilization. Use the edited nucleus of these cells and fuse there. I tell you, that's how cloning works. So you use the edited nucleus of one of these cells and you fuse it to an Asian elephant egg. Instead of using a sperm, you use the DNA that you normally would like to clone. That's how cloning works. Harvest it from a healthy female Asian elephant donor. Yeah, so fun fact, as far as I'm aware of, we can't clone anything without using a female egg. It's kind of interesting. Like, I could be totally wrong, but if you had a world with only females inhabiting it versus a world where only men inhabit it, like suddenly, like a genie in a bottle made it happen, we would be able to continue cloning the species. I think we would be able to create males still. Yeah, we would. But if we only had males, we would not be able to clone them without an egg. And we would have to be able to create a baby from said egg, and we don't yet have the technology to do that without a woman who has said egg. So it's kind of interesting, really. That's because girls are awesome. Diva up, diva up. My perspective is valuable. I'm glad to hear that. Implant the embryo into surrogates. Implant the early embryo into the healthy Asian or African elephant surrogates. And then the final step. Oh, okay, they're just gonna show us a baby elephant. Aww. Okay, well that's just like not fair. You can't do that. Because I want one of these. Everybody's just gonna want them as pets. It's AI though. Well, I mean, it's not real. It does not exist yet. Gestation and birth. Care for the surrogates in a world-class conservation facility for the duration of the gestation. Oh, whoa, it's 22 months for elephants. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Elephants are pregnant far longer than humans are. That's crazy. Wait, so if they're planning to bring the woolly mammoth to life as early as 2028, and you have a gestation period of 22 months, that means you're gonna have to start it in 2026. That's next year. That means they're ready to actually do this next year. But the birth of the baby would only be in 2028. Yeah, birth of first woolly mammoth calves. Help with nutrition and social interaction for the young calves to thrive. Social interaction? Aren't they gonna be bullied for having long hair? Habitat. Oh, there you go. Habitat. We got a habitat, guys. The Arctic and the tundra? So the Arctic and the tundra. Where's the tundra? Okay, so they want to put these things in the Arctic. Okay, well, there's not a lot happening in the Arctic, to be fair. It is kind of desolate. Greater biodiversity and healthier ice reserves provide evidence that the Earth was in a far better environmental state at the time of the woolly mammoth. Without human intervention, there was no artificial pollution, no land degradation resulting from a mass expansion of destructive agriculture practices, natural resources still in abundance, an absence of overhunting, overfishing, poaching, and more. A key factor was also the presence of a thriving mammoth, comprised of flourishing Arctic and tundra regions. These landscapes were vast and responsible for playing a balancing role in the planet's overall state. The size of the Arctic is 5.5 million square miles. 75% of Earth's freshwater supply is housed in Arctic glaciers. 21% of species live in the Arctic's freezing temperatures. Permafrost is a permanently frozen layer below Earth's surface. It consists of soil, gravel, and sand, usually bound together by ice. According to the Arctic Program, permafrost is currently storing 1,600 billion metric tons of carbon. The mammoth's massive size, thunderous gait, and vast migration patterns were active benefactors in preserving the health of the Arctic region. The mammoth steppe was once the world's largest ecosystem, spanning from France to Canada and the Arctic islands to China. It was home to millions of large herbivores, and these animals were key to protecting an ecosystem so vast. It affected, if not almost controlled, the climate. It has been estimated the total mass of plants and animals in Siberia's tundra is now 100-fold less than when it was a steppe. And other key arguments here. Wait, so what is a steppe? I'm ignorant on the topic. Ooh, we've got a science paper. We like science papers. Mammoth steppe, a high productivity phenomenon. Ooh, this is good stuff. I'm gonna copy this. Boop, 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 boop. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna read that later. Okay, so we're referencing the science paper. We like science papers. Oh, my partner is home. And my sister's calling me. Oh geez, so much is happening. At the last degradation, Earth's largest biome, a mammoth steppe vanished. During the last glacial maximum, Mammoth steppe was Earth's most extensive biome. It spanned from Spain to Canada and from Arctic islands to China. Modern man evolved in this biome. It has been assumed that during the Holocene, in contrast to other previous interglacial cold, dry, steppe-like climates, switched to a warmer, wetter climate. It caused the disappearance of the grasslands. So are we saying because we got rid of mammoths that things are now frozen over when it wouldn't have been? In contrast to climate hypothesis, we propose an ecosystem hypothesis, which assumes that the mammoth ecosystem was relatively insensitive to climate variation, and that animals maintained highly productive grasslands over a wide range of climates. How interesting. That's very interesting. I can't read the whole thing unless I'm in a university. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, by the way. If I'm president, we're changing it so anybody can read any academic article. How much is this gonna cost me? Let's see. How much is this single paper gonna cost me? $27. I refuse. I'm going to put on my little pirate hat and I'm gonna disappear and I'm gonna come back with full knowledge of this using divine intuition. You know, the worst part is when you buy an academic article, it's not the writer of the article who gets the money, it's the journal. And did you know the journal doesn't even normally pay the writer? You pay the journal to publish your article? Isn't that crazy, guys? Okay, I'm talking to the young generation here. We gotta stop this. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's not the sign of a good world. It's a sign of a absolute nonsense. It doesn't incentivize jack. How is a poor person going to read this article? How are they going? It's a net good if we educate society. Okay, anyway, I'm going to magically find this article. Legally. And I'm going to hop off now and go to bed since it's almost 1 a.m. in the morning. But it's been great chatting with you all. We're gonna continue this investigation tomorrow. It's going well. Let's see. Do I have a raid button? Yeah, I do. Let's see who's live. I'll send you over to PewDiePie's old channel. Okay, guys, it's been great chatting. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we can learn a little bit more about this project. It sounds very interesting. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for dropping by. It's been great chatting. Bye.